What's going on, everybody? This is an episode from the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast. Do you like podcasts and you want to see the full podcast? Make sure you check out the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast on all your podcast platforms, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, among many others. But you're listening to the episode right here on YouTube, so make sure you hit that like button and below, and make sure you hit the subscribe button to NC Studios and NC Level Up for all your gaming needs. This is the Nerd Coalition. Enjoy the show. We got some unfortunate news here.
Uh-oh.
And news that I already know you're not going to like to talk about, but we got to talk about it anyway, because Smackdown. We love Smackdown. We've been loving Smackdown since 1999, and we know now.
Well, sometimes.
So, okay, so you're right. They did have that recap period, but then, sometimes SmackDown been easier to digest than Monday Night Raw, right? And the reason for that was because SmackDown was always 2 hours. It never went to the 3-hour Monday Night Raw format that they did on USA. Well, now SmackDown has left Fox and is now on USA Network. And we have seen some great produced SmackDowns in the past couple weeks of it being on USA. But now we got the news that SmackDown will be going 3 hours.
That's just too much.
I have to agree with you. SmackDown, that is just too much to really digest, basically saying. But here's the thing. So, as of right now, SmackDown is moving to 3 hours. I'm trying to make sure I get the right date, because I don't know if it's starting in January or if it's starting at the end of the year. Because, we got a lot of things going on, because NXT is going to CW next week. And there's still going to be 2 hours. But SmackDown is supposed to be going 3 hours. But it's basically an experiment. Because... yeah, okay. Starting in January 2025, SmackDown will be 3 hours, but it will only be 3 hours for the first 6 months.
That's 6 months too many.
Yeah, I agree with you. But honestly, when I see stuff like that, it automatically is showing that this is going to be a experiment. Because it's one thing to get 3 hours on a Monday night, right? Because, look, Mondays are boring. Monday is the start of the week. Because, people watch 3 hours of Monday Night Football, so it's like, well, wrestling has always been known for so many decades of being on Mondays. Like, you can get away with a 3-hour Raw on Mondays. Even though we don't like the format or don't like it, you can still get away with a 3-hour Raw on Monday. The problem with SmackDown is that SmackDown's on Friday.
Bro, oh my God.
Go ahead, say your piece.
I'm just WWE just posted something. I'm kind of annoyed by it.
Okay, what they post?
What the heck? Hold on. Shane McMahon taking a picture with the Young Bucks is hilarious.
WWE
That's what I just seen. Huh? No. Sorry, I scrolled down further and didn't see the Shane McMahon thing. But WWE just posted that they having the first ever 2-night SummerSlam at MetLife next year. Yes.
So they not even waiting for 2026 like they originally promised. They go into 2025 right now.
Yeah, say 2025, August 2nd and 3rd. They say SummerSlam, New Jersey. I'm glad they say New Jersey, not New York, which
Exactly. Oh, well, you know what? We can actually go to that one.
Gosh, not 2 nights. I ain't going no 2 night SummerSlam.
Well, first of all, SummerSlam have been pretty better at the Triple H anyway. So I'm just saying, but I'm saying for
2 nights. SummerSlam don't need to be 2 nights though. Like, just
SummerSlam has always been built like it's part of the Big Four. It's always like the mid-season finale. So it's the WrestleMania of the summer. And they usually.
I don't even think WrestleMania need 2 nights, honestly.
Oh, here we go with this.
Cause, man, it's just people be having stuff to do. Anybody, I really, you got 5 hours of programming to build up to this pay-per-view.
But you do listen. We can go back and forth on that, but still, all I'm saying is,
all right. Right now, dude, the SummerSlam deserves 2 nights right now as they've been building up. Like if Bad Blood was something big, would you watch every single match that's on the card? Would you be happy if it was 2 nights?
For Bad Blood?
The way that they've been building this up. Would you be happy if they got 2 nights?
Well, not for Bad Blood, no. But the way they be building up, but I'm saying SummerSlam is a marquee show. It's like, okay, right now, if they was to say Survivor Series is 2 nights, Royal Rumble is 2 nights, I mean, which I'm pretty sure these bigger shows are going to start going to 2 nights.
I thought people... Shit.
Because Triple H likes to have shit to breathe. And I can see them having 2 War Games matches, 2 Royal Rumble matches, then WrestleMania and SummerSlam, because there was some stuff on SummerSlam that was left off of the SummerSlam card because
I said too bad.
I get it, but this is SummerSlam we're talking about here. This is not Bad Blood. This is SummerSlam we're talking about. So I can understand that. Besides, SummerSlam brings them money, so I can see them saying like, "This is the."
Oh my god, it's worse. It gets worse.
Okay, how's it?
Cardi B is the host
of SummerSlam.
I think so.
I'll take Cardi B over Sexy Red any day. Any day. I'll take Cardi over Sexy Red any day.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, when NXT want to bring in Sexy, yeah, no, I'll take Cardi over Sexy any day.
You know what? I'm sorry. We can go back to SmackDown. Speaking of SmackDown, I don't like the intro.
Oh, you don't like the Meg Thee Stallion intro?
No, I don't. I would probably like it more if it's one of her songs that is like that has like a better chorus or something to get you hyped. It's like the song feel like it start in the middle. Like it feel like they chose to start in the middle of her rap, and then she just rapped the whole time. It's like that don't really get you hyped for a show to me. Not that rap.
I can feel you on that. I mean, you know, so
if it had a better chorus or something, if the chorus was like "Let's go," something that gets you hyped. It's literally just a rap the whole entire time. Like, it's no chorus, there's no nothing. Just a rap.
Well, most opening songs don't have a chorus to it. They get a snippet from the song, or they perform the song, or they just perform the chorus. Use a snippet.
So okay. So, "Burn It to the Ground" had a chorus, and if one of the worst songs can have a chorus, you can do something.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but as of right now. Well, first of all, I can't say I agree. Like I hate this. I don't hate the song, but honestly, I'm not saying that it making me jump out my seat. I mean, I like Meg, but I'm not saying it makes me big jump out my seat or anything like that. And depending on how things go in 2025, they'll probably change it. But in the meantime,
that's their song. It's Meg. They done paid for it.
Yeah. January 3rd, 2025 is when SmackDown's supposed to go 3 hours. And then it says that once the other news is once the show ends, it will be available on Netflix the next day because their Hulu deal is done. Because Quattro, he usually watches SmackDown on Hulu because he doesn't have cable, right? So, but even though he don't really need because it's Fox, but on USA he doesn't have cable, so he will watch it on Hulu the next day. They're done with their Hulu deal. NXT, I'm not too sure about, but for Hulu,
I mean, that would make sense if either it goes to Peacock or it goes to Netflix. So that makes sense.
Yeah. So the next day after, it was supposed to be going to Netflix. Now, I don't have the article pulled up here where it was saying that this is probably going to only be for the first 6 months of 2025, but I do believe that is what it's supposed to be, and Raw is going back to its 2-hour format on October 7th, which we had talked about. But a 3 hour SmackDown, like I was saying before, you was telling me about the other stuff, is that it's on a Friday night. You're asking people to give up 3 hours on a Friday night. Like, it's probably from like 8 to 11. Instead of 8 to 10, it's 8 to 11. And to be honest with you, on Friday, 10 o'clock is that right time to just end stuff because you pre-game before the 18 to 34 demographic is pre-gaming right before they go out on a Friday night. Now, once again, I'm somebody with kids. I don't be going out like that no more. But when I didn't have kids and when it was like this, okay, yeah, I could watch a SmackDown real quick and then head out to the club or head out to with my friends or the bar or wherever I'm going to go, or even watch SmackDown in the bar, like that. But however, that's 3 hours. I'm like at 11 o'clock for young people on Friday night. It's hard to get them to commit. That's why I remember when they did Rampage. They said it's going to be starting at 10 o'clock on Friday. I'm like, that's a terrible time spot.
Mm-hmm.
Because it died to death. I mean, they still do Rampage, but you don't watch it no more.
Mm-mm.
I think the only one that still get results from Rampage is Q-Flow. And
I'm gonna just look at the results.
Yeah, but I'm just like, man, there's just nothing. That's a terrible ass time slot. Those weekend time slots, especially like remember when WWE used to be on 6:05. That's why Collision is just dying a slow death also, because you're on 8 o'clock on Saturday, and you got college football going on right now. I mean, you're going to take a hit because it's college football. It's like WWE takes a hit with Monday Night Football. But it's that late on a Saturday when people are usually out on that time. And it ain't like the bars have AEW on. They may have one TV that has AEW on.
I ain't gonna lie. Some stuff I go to, even in the airports and stuff, they be playing AEW.
Look, I mean, I'm not saying they don't, but I'm saying, like, even when I'm out door dashing, right, and I go to certain bars to pick up stuff, I have seen more bars, believe it or not, I'm not saying this for favoritism, they have more bars that have on WWE, like SmackDown, than they do.
Well, yeah, Fox is probably easier than TNT, but maybe like the bars just play sports, so they overall probably just be looking for sports.
Mm-hmm.
Cause sometimes when I'm walking through the airport or something, I see like TV. Usually it's either boxing, it's either some type of wrestling, and it's usually some type of football or basketball.
Yeah.
And then sometimes if it's early in the morning, Stephen A. or Pat McAfee. So
exactly, yeah. So, but it they have to see how it's going to work by doing 3 hours on a Friday night to see if it'll gain any traction, because once again, WWE's hot right now, but can it stay hot? And honestly, with the SmackDown roster right now, it's a little thin. You got to beef that thing up a lot to really see it. Now, once again, this is not happening until 2025, so we still got October, November, December to get through. And in December is going to be, because after Survivor Series, there's no pay-per-views until Royal Rumble, which is the beginning of February this year, next year. So I understand when it comes to the fiscal and the financial reasons for why a 3-hour show is what they want, but as a fan, that is just too hard to digest for me.
Yeah, I can agree. It's not going to be good on Friday, especially if it ends at 11, because you ended at 10 o'clock be rough sometime for SmackDown. 11 is crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. But so I think they probably will go right back to the 2-hour format unless Choice can pull a rabbit out his ass, and I don't know.
Why does a trial have to be so long? Why can't a trial can't be a month?
Because you can't really just how
2 months. 2 months, that could be a good trial. 6 months?
No, well,
by the time the 6 months are over, people gonna be like,
usually a standard trial for anything, even it's like your performance at work, is usually 90 days.
Okay, we'll do 90 days.
Yeah, I'm saying so. It's been 3 months now, but now I think they really want to engage. But once again, you gotta give it time to breathe because the first 3 months, let's see, January, February, and March, you got football, Super Bowl, and March Madness. You got all three of those things that are high numbers in all things that Americans watch, right? And then once all that's done, April, May, June, you're going into the spring and the summertime, which the only thing that takes America's attention a lot is baseball, which is not everything because and then it's like okay, you got basketball that goes into the finals in June, but there's still enough breathing room that you can watch wrestling. But with January, February, when you got the playoffs, you got the Super Bowl, which is tuned by, and Kendrick's going to be there. Yeah, that's going to take a lot. Then you got March Madness still, and then, you got all these, sport events that America watches. Then it's going to take up a lot of the time, and also we in an election year, so whoever wins the inaugurations is next year. That people. Americans, whether you like politics or not, are going to watch that. So it's going to be hard to just how people like a 3-hour SmackDown in the first 3 months. So if you give it another 3 months when everything has calmed down and it's just like the threat of baseball and basketball, then that is when.
How about that's when you started then?
What'd you say?
How about that's when they started?
Because you can't get somebody adjusted to a 2-hour SmackDown and then 3 months in then go to 3, try it for 3, and then go back to 2.
That's what they doing now.
No, well, as of right now, it's like everything's refreshed at the beginning. When it's like New Year, new me, New Year revolution and stuff like that, or resolution, whatever you try to do in New Year. New Year always starts the beginning of the new year. That's why everything is starting then at the new year. That's why Netflix is starting in January. That's why this project started in January. We already used to a 2-hour SmackDown, but what is it going to look like at the beginning of the year when basically everything is fresh, getting out of Christmas? We in Royal Rumble season. We're in the road to WrestleMania. That's when you start everything fresh. That's what they're doing there right now. So you gotta test it out somehow. And right now it would suck because right now SmackDown does not have the proper roster. There are people that are going injured that are not there right now. That you can't just push it to 3 hours when you already have storylines booked out for the rest of this year. Like you finish, it's only 2 months into this year. You finish this year out. You start.
Well, you know what that means.
Say what?
You know what that means.
What?
It's time to shake things up again.
It's time to shake things up again because you know how Twitch's gonna do it now. So. And you do that, then at the beginning of the year, say, okay, we got past some of the major things that we wanted to get past, and now we can start bringing back people and doing different things, and we can try out what a 3-hour SmackDown would look like. And if it don't work, it go back to 2 hours.